Hello everybody, it's time for me to do my end of the year wrap up, and so we're going to take a look at some of the things that I found this year. Not everything, but what I'm going to try to do is to match up my actual performance this year with the goals that I set at the beginning of 2016. If you remember, I had a video at the beginning of 2016 where I set some goals of how many silver items, gold items, those sorts of things, how many water hunts I wanted to do. And so we're going to take a look and see how I did in terms of meeting those goals. It was a fun year. I had a good year. I'm not complaining. I'm very happy with it. I am able to hunt, when you average it out due to the winter and things, about once a week. So I get about 50 hunts, 52 hunts in a year. So when you look at what you've got to do in order to do that, I'm happy with it. So anyways, let's take a look at what we've got. First, we're going to start with wheat pennies. I don't know how many wheat pennies are here because I don't really count them, but I did pretty good on the wheat pennies. Didn't have any key dates. Oh, how'd that get in there? That's a Jefferson nickel as an imposter. Wheat penny. I didn't have any real key dates, but there's some in here that are better than others. Now let's take a look at Indian head pennies. Alright, I ended up with 39 Indian head pennies. They range in quality from being very crusty to some being in pretty good shape. A lot of them have that deep green patina on them. There's an 1880, 1882. I put two of them in holders. This one here really isn't anything special. It's a 1907, but this was in phenomenal condition. I mean, just the detail on this coin is really, really good. So I put that in a holder. And then this is a key date in 1867. I think this was my oldest Indian head penny. So I also put that in a holder. So let's take a look at some nickels. All right, I found exactly 40 buffalo nickels. And like the Indian head pennies, they range in quality. No real key dates or anything there. Just very typical, a lot of 1930s and no dates on the buffaloes. I ended up with 9 V-nickels. Most of these are pretty crusty. This one right here is super smooth, and then this one right here is super crusty. So here's the silver setup. Now, as you'll notice, I've got a bunch of coins up there in cards or little holders. That's not because those are necessarily valuable, but about midway through the summer, I had taken my finds over to my dad, and he likes coin collecting and likes doing all this stuff. So I said, you know, have at it. So he put those in holders and marked them and that. So I appreciate that. Thanks, Dad. My goal this summer was to dig 100 silver items, not just silver coins, silver items. I dug 122 silver items. So I met my goal. Well, let's just take a real quick look here. Again, some of the coins are in these holders. There's my Barber $50 that I found. That was awesome. The first one I ever had there. Some $50, some Barber quarters, Standing Liberty quarters, Washingtons, you know, Mercs and more Mercs. And then down here outside of the cases, there's my one and only Franklin half, a couple more Walking Liberty halves, a couple more Standing Liberty quarters, some more Barber dimes. My one and only seeded coin this year, an 1890 seeded dime, and then some more just Washingtons, Mercs, and Rosies. So, and this is probably what I'm most proud of when it comes to silver, are all these silver war nickels. There are 11 silver war nickels. 9 of them are Philadelphia mint, and the 2 on the end here are San Francisco. So here is the breakdown of all of this. I dug $7 $1 Barber, 5 Walking Liberty, and 1 Franklin. I dug 18 quarters. 2 of them are Barber quarters, 3 of them are Standing Liberty quarters, and 13 of them are Washington quarters. I dug 78 dimes, 1 seated dime, 12 Barber, 44 Mercury dimes, and 21 Roosevelt dimes. 11 war nickels, as I said, 9 Philadelphia and 2 San Francisco. And here's the jewelry. There's my ring to rule them all that I was so hoping was white gold with a real diamond. Really neat religious medallion, and this religious medallion. That chain is stainless steel. Turquoise ring. There. And a few other pieces. I did not break this into pieces in order to be able to count more towards my totals. That just broke, and I counted it all as one. Now here's the thing. I have also, that I didn't put out there, these 7 silver coins. I put these in a separate Ziploc baggie when I found them, and I set them off to the side, and this was my plan B emergency, I need some silver or I'm not going to get to 100. These 7 coins I found at a group hunt that was sponsored by Detecting the Heartland Facebook group. And they had a seated hunt where they had a bunch of silver out there, and I found these coins, and I didn't know whether or not to count them towards my total or not, so I kept them separate. I didn't need them, but if I used them, that would take my total up to 129. So that's cool. All right, now let's look at some gold. All right, so for my goal I had that I wanted to be able to dig 5 gold items. So, did I meet my goal? Well, if you're looking at the screen, you see 6 things, but here's the deal. This is a 10 karat gold ring, this is a 10 karat gold ring, this is a 10 karat gold ring. Those are gold without question. This pocket watch is gold, 14 karat, even though it's got some corrosion on it. It was in a hole, I think, with some keys or something. But that is gold, and it's marked. This here is not marked. In the very least, it's gold plated. And then this ring here is marked 10K GF. It's gold filled, so do I count it? If I'm a purist, I'd say no, I came up short by 1. If I wanted to fudge, I could maybe put that up there and let him hang out with those guys, but I'm gonna say, yeah, I met it. Close enough. All right, on to the next one. So here's kind of a neat thing that I did this year. I realized I was finding a lot of pocket knives, so I just held onto them and put them in a little bin, and this is what I ended up with, and they're kind of neat. Some are older than others. I found these 2 at a church location. They're kind of smaller. I think everything else might have been at a Boy Scout camp. So kind of a neat thing. Now, here are some miscellaneous relics that I found. There is junk jewelry in here. There's a ring. An old thimble, some tokens are in here, an old razor, old rope tensioner. So it's not everything. Some stuff I had to make a decision on whether or not I keep it or not, and this was just random stuff that I found that I thought was cool that I would hang on to and not scrap or get rid of or anything like that. Here's that really cool ring. I still think that this is really, really old, and that gemstone could be real. So, or maybe not. All right, now here's the last of my kind of roundup of stuff I'm looking at, and this is a lot of. Most of it is, the silverware that I found, the spoons, forks, and things. That not everything ever made it to video. When you're out there and you find a spoon, it's an encouraging sign, but it's not anything that's necessarily earth-shattering, unless it's silver, or I think I put this one on there because that's just a really cool spoon handle there, how ornate that is. But then I got some miscellaneous, some padlocks, buckles, reins guides, and this thing here is awesome. I did electrolysis on this to try to clean it up a little bit, and it cleaned up really well, but now it's kind of re-rusted. I found this earlier in the spring. I don't know why I'm hanging on to it, but I am. So anyways, that's the wrap up for 2016. I'm looking forward to getting out in the dirt in 2017. I do appreciate you watching. I do appreciate you commenting, subscribing, liking the video. A lot of you guys are regular viewers and regular commenters, and that's cool because I feel like I'm kind of getting to know you and I watch your channels. So anyways, I thank you for hanging out with me in 2016, and here's to hoping for a great 2017.